right, welcome back for another episode of the Wednesday Watch List. This is my weekly look ahead to the books coming out this Wednesday for New Comic Book Day, June 5th, 2024. So it's just the things I'm keeping an eye out for, whether there be some of the incentive variants that might be selling well already with pre-sales, some cool variants that are coming out, new release titles, some new number ones, first appearances, things with a bit of buzz around them, things like that I'm looking forward to this upcoming New Comic Book Wednesday. And this is my quick rundown for it. Hopefully you're enjoying this series as well as everything else here on the channel. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you like, you subscribe, you hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. You keep telling your friends so we can keep growing the channel. Check out our Discord. We're trying to build that up so we can get some more connectivity with you, the audience, and we can share some information outside of just the videos. And if you haven't given Whatnot a try, now's your chance to sign up. For first-time users, you get a free $15 on me to spend on whatever you want with whomever you want. Doesn't matter. No strings attached. You sign up, 15 bucks, spend it on whatever you like. I'd like to know what you bought because I'd be curious, but you would be helping out the channel as well as getting yourself something for free just for giving it a try. With that all said, if you want to see this week's books, all you got to do is hang on for a few seconds after the intro, and I will be right back. All right, let's see what we got. And we start off the week as we do every week with my personal picks. These are things that I'm personally looking forward to and also think you should be keeping an eye on when you go to the store this Wednesday. And you guys know by now I'm biased. I'm a big fan of the Energon universe over at Skybound. I like Transformers. I like G.I. Joe. So it should not be a surprise that the first book on my list to get this week is Scarlet #1. Can't wait to read this. Looking forward to this. Seems like a lot of fun. I think there's some surprises to be had that you might not have been expecting yet, and it looks like we might be getting them right off the bat. So I am highly anticipating this book personally. Multiple covers here. There's store exclusives as well, but I don't really care so much about those as these covers are great in and of themselves. The cover A, I like it. There's also a pretty cool cover B, as well as a sketch blank variant in case you wanted to go and save that for a con and get yourself a nice Scarlet sketch done by somebody. That would be an option as well. But just that A and B are good enough for me. But we still have more. We still have more. On top of that, for the celebration of 1 year of this Energon universe, it looks like we're getting a connecting cover crossover from, I think it's Scarlet, Destro, Transformers, I think 9, and then Void Rivals 10 or whatever issue they're up to at this point. But those will be connecting this larger image. I'm only going to show you Scarlet because that's all we got so far. As we get the others, we will build them out and I will show you what it looks like. But here you go. A bunch of the characters in this universe from the G.I. Joes, the Transformers in the background, etc. You got the Quintessence or whatever way in the back there. So, yeah. A lot of cool stuff, I think, still coming our way as part of this this universe. And there is a black and white sketch version of this as well, or a black and white version. Maybe not sketch, but a black and white version. So if you're interested, you can get that one too. Now, as you might expect, there are incentives for this book as well, and they're going to be probably pretty cool. We're going to get the standard, what we've been getting throughout this entire, the G.I. Joe corner of things. We're getting the card back 1 in 25. So it looks like the old school card back with the, the flames blast burst behind the character. Awesome cover there. And then the 1 in 10, which I'm pretty sure is going to be a connecting cover set just like the last. So this would be part 1, and then they'll probably build out and kind of summarize the story across those 1 in 10 covers too. So if you're into connecting covers, you're in luck. We've got some for you. We've got some for you. Beyond these two, the 1 in 10 and 1 in 25, we do have higher. But they are all secret. Shh. Don't tell anybody. Secret, 1 in 50. Secret, spoiler, 1 in 100. Spoiler, 1 in 250. All they had were the artist names. I can't remember who did the 1 in 50, but John Boy Myers did the 1 in 100, and David Mack did the 1 in 250. And we can guess what the style of those covers is going to be on the 1 in 100 and 1 in 250 because we know those artists and we've seen what they've done before. With that said, I did some digging. So I was able to come up and find all of these covers for you. So they are spoiler covers. So if you don't want to know yet, then don't watch the next minute or two. Just jump ahead. I'll try to put timestamps in here, but just jump ahead to the next section or something like that, because I'm going to show the covers for those who do want to see it. So here is your warning.
Spoiler!
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Warning!
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Oh my god.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
That's a solid 14 seconds of warning. So you had your chance. But if you're still on board, you want to see these covers, and here they are. I like the 1/100 quite a bit, actually. I like John Boy Myers. I like his Storm Shadow. Yes, Storm Shadow on the cover. As you might have guessed, teased on all the other ones. You got the I always can't say it right. Every time I want to say it, like I can write it, but I can't say the Arashkagi clan. This, my hat, this, them. Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, they're Ninja Clan. Teased. So we were expecting this, and we also knew Jinx was going to be in this. I think the 1 in 50 is going to disappoint people who might have jumped in, because I don't know what's so spoilery about Stalker being there. I mean, we saw him in Duke, and we kind of expected them to cross over eventually. So, all right, Stalker shows up. Hey, don't get me wrong. I love Stalker. Stalker was one of my favorite Joes growing up, but that's not as cool of a surprise spoiler cover as the 1/100, which is also a foil cover, mind you, and the David Mack, which, I mean, it's his style. It's his style. So if you like David Mack, you're gonna like that. I just think 1 in 250 is way too high for me. That's too high of a ratio incentive, even though it's pretty cool. You got Storm Shadow in the background, and the Scarlet is done pretty well. I just can't. Personally, I can't be chipping in for that. Though I will admit, I did get the 1/100. So, but I did that for Cobra Commander as well, because I liked it. I'm on the fence about Destro. I'm on the fence about whether I want to get the Destro one or not, but maybe we'll see. But there's your spoilers. Right now, nothing is really selling above ratio. They're right around ratio. I mean, there's a couple that are a little above, but you can still find a little below. So if you're interested in any of the incentives, you could probably find them for ratio or less if you look now. Who knows what will happen come Wednesday? I'm not saying they're going to go up or anything like that. They could, but I'm going to watch them just in case. I'm just telling you right now, I was able to secure the 1/100 for well under ratio. So if you're patient, maybe you can find it. But opportunities are getting shorter and slimmer because we are getting closer to release day. With that said, we'll move on to our next book, and it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Alpha. I am looking forward to what Jason Aaron is going to do with the Turtles. I am not a big Turtle reader. I haven't kept up. I remember the flashes of interest when Jettica first appeared and all that stuff. But outside of that stuff, I'm not a real big Turtle guy. So I know we reviewed and talked about the end of the prior series, but this new reboot series, it's apparently going to start here. So ahead of the new #1, we're getting this Alpha issue, this one shot. So it's kind of an event issue, I guess. I don't know, whatever you want to look at it. I think it'll just be interesting to kind of give this a read. So multiple covers on this one as well. We got a cover A, you got a B cover and a C cover if you want them. Oh, sorry, where are they? There we go. Here they come. So you got Donatello, you got this Mutant Island thing. So it looks like it's probably a little bit of an anthology, setting up a few storylines and things to come. I don't know. I'm curious. So check it out if you're interested. If you like incentive variants, they have some of them for you too. You got 1 in 10s, you got 1 in 25s, and you got a design cover 1 in 50 of a creepy looking spider lady. It looks like some sort of Black Widow character. That is it's legit kind of creepy. So kudos to the Turtles for giving us something that's not goofy, I guess, because a lot of the Turtle stuff is kind of goofy, from the toys from back in the day, Mondo Gecko and such. I mean, even Baxter Stockman with his brightly colored outfit. He's a fly man, but he's still kind of goofy looking. Just saying. Oh, and if these aren't enough for you and you have even more money burning a hole in your pocket that you want to go spend, you can go get yourself the 1/100, which I think is a foil variant as well. Looks like it's gold. So yes, same deal as the Scarlets. Right now, nothing really pushing ratio. So ratio or less, if you're interested in any of those, feel free to go and add them to your collection. I don't think I'm going to do any incentives for the Turtles. I told you, Scarlet, to try to get the 1 in 25, maybe the 1 in 10. And like I said, I already secured a 1 in 100. Other than that, I'm not worried about the incentives for the turtles. I'll just get a regular one and just give it a read. Marvel loves to renumber or remind us what the actual numbering should be if you could pay attention or follow their crazy logic. So apparently, issue 35 of X-Men is technically the 700th issue of Uncanny X-Men. Just leave it. Just stay at 700. Just when we start, can we have 701? Do we have to? I know we're gonna get a new number one, but can't we just pick up the numbering again? Just for one title? Just one title. You could start all the other ones you want, but can we just Uncanny? Can we just leave it? Can we leave it? I know it's not gonna happen, but I can hope. Pepe Larraz did this. I think this is the A cover here. A lot of creators working on this. Again, it's the anniversary. Pretty big anniversary, 700. Not a ton of titles reach that mark. This is a wraparound cover. If it didn't, wasn't clear, there you go. You can see the full thing. There are some other variants as well, including a trading card variant, which I believe it's going to come sideways. So I don't think it's going to be a wraparound because of the way it's sized. This wouldn't fit as a wraparound, so I think it's just a sideways cover for this image. But, I think the trading cards are cool, but I like just the actual trading cards. I don't need them as comic covers. Just give me other art, and I'm more than happy with that. I believe this is also going to be a wraparound cover and will connect with another X-Men title to form all of one of those huge murals that show all of the mutants and X characters. I know Mark and I talked about going through this image and kind of having some fun picking through it. I think we did it with Fantastic Four, so we might do that on Wednesday. I don't know. We'll see. But here, yeah, like I said, connecting X-Men. Maybe it's with the new X-Men #1. All of these characters mashed together. And there's a lot there. They're buried. They're piled in there pretty tight, as you can see. So could be kind of fun to run through there and see if there's people we don't recognize or don't know who they are. But with that said, there's still more. Obviously, we didn't get through the guts of it, the meat and potatoes of it. We've got variants that include a pretty cool Storm. I kind of like the reverse image of them leaving Krakoa. So we had House of X when they were walking on, it was the reverse shot of them walking basically in through the portal into Krakoa. This is them leaving because we're leaving that age. I like it. I like the symmetry behind it. I really don't like the logo covers. These are stupid. They're a waste of money, in my opinion. It's just, well, who cares? Like, why do you want just X-Men's, a big X in white on a black cover? Why do you want that as a cover? If this was a hardcover or collected edition, absolutely. Makes a lot of sense. But otherwise, why? I don't know. It just seems lazy to me. I'd rather have the walking away cover. But you get the cover you like. If you like the black and white logo covers that Marvel's been doing, have at them. They're all yours. I have no interest in them. Nor do I have an interest in a virgin version of it, which is the 1 in 100. I mean, yeah, it's a striking image, just the logo. But again, give it to me on an omnibus. I don't need it on issue 700. And then you can see a 1 in 25 and a 1 in 200, which is a big number. So, and then virgin cover, them walking away. There is a couple other covers missing. We'll get to those. It's in another segment, including a 1 in 50 that is also part of this because it ties in with the other cover. We'll get there later. But just for early returns, always look at these super high ratios because I'm curious if anybody is interested in them and buying them. And so far, it looks like there have been no sales on the 1 in 200 that I could find, but there is one listed looking for $390. So somebody is seeking basically double ratio on that book. There will be some out there. I mean, the big stores are going to order them. I mean, it's X-Men 700, and even with a $9.99, I think, cover price on that book, there will be plenty to be had because there'll be store exclusives and then they'll get copies. I don't know, but we'll see what happens come Wednesday. We'll see. Now, this next one isn't an anniversary like this. It's not a new #1 like the Turtles or Scarlet. This is a new #1, but I don't think it's on a lot of people's radars. But I am personally looking forward to it, which is why it's in my picks, because I'm looking forward to this. So I'm going to share with you a book that I can't wait to read, and that is Falling in Love on the Path to Hell. What is this, you say? Well, I don't know a lot either, but I see samurai, I see cowboys, and I'm in. And that's what I gathered from what I read. It was something about both eras of those, like from the movie days, those kind of genres kind of stopped together. So here is a storyline picking them back up and kind of pushing them together. I'm in. Ever since Shogun, I can't get enough samurai stuff right now. I mean, I've always loved that stuff, but it's just fresh in the brain. I just can't wait for the next Assassin's Creed. Looking forward to this. And it's Jerry Duggan, so I'll give him a try. And there's some cool covers as well. So apart from this one, which is perfectly fine, cover A, there is a 1 in 10 that I really like too, as well as a so 1 in 25. 1 in 25 is not so much for me, but I do like that I think it's Ryan Gonzalez on that 1 in 10, and I did order one of those for myself because, like I said, I liked it. Buy what you like. That's all I'm saying. And whether that will do well or not on the aftermarket, I don't know. But so far, the 1 in 10, there were a couple sales. Best offer on 20, 13, 17. Granted, it's a 1 in 10, so it's a little above the ratio mark. Asking prices 18 to 20, and then there's somebody looking for 40. I don't know if it'll reach that, but I could see this being kind of like a $15 to $20 book easy. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. And again, it's a really cool cover. I mean, you got the cherry blossoms. It's pretty awesome to me. So, yeah, up to you whether you want to give that one a shot. But I put that in my picks because, like I said, it is going to be at the top of my reading pile along with the rest of my reading list. So let's get into those books next. Only a few, and these are some long-standing titles that I have been getting for, well, I guess it's kind of decades now, but it seems weird to say that. But here we go. Continuing on, we're getting Batman. Batman 148. So it's Batman v. Batman. All right, we'll see. There could be only one. I don't know. I'm a little behind on reading Zdarsky's run on regular Batman here. I've been trying to keep up with it, but it's kind of fallen a little bit further down in my reading pile, even though I have it here opening the section. That's more a case of this being DC, and I hit the DC books first when I'm getting things ready. Point being, I still have to catch up a little bit on these, but Batman, it's been a constant pull for me for, like I said, many, many years, probably decades, probably going back to the 90s. So just one of those things. Multiple covers here. I'll be fine with just the A on this one, even though some of these others aren't bad with the B's and C's. And then there are incentives, and I kind of do like the 1 in 25. The punchline's not bad. And then there's 1 in 50, also not bad. Neither of them are doing anything above ratio yet. I'm kind of surprised. I figured the punchline might have had a shot at being one of those DC incentives that starts to sell for $30 and $40 right out of the gate. You know, the ones we're talking about, the power, the Power Girls and the Harleys and the Poison Ivies that kind of catch people's eyes. But this being Batman, I think the print run is high enough that the market gets met a lot easier. So ratio or less, this is probably where that's going to stay. With that said, still on the constant pull list, no matter what. But kind of getting back into it. After Gang War was kind of disappointing, but kind of getting ready for this, and we had the Goblin stuff. All right, I'm not 100% on board again, but I'm still on board enough to try to keep up with Amazing Spider-Man with issue 51. Thank you for giving me the legacy numbering. Do that at least. Keep that up. So legacy numbering 9, what is that, 45? Getting up to 1,000 soon. Spider-Man's going to hit 1,000 soon. So with that, pretty cool cover, eh? And then we also will get the Disney, because they were doing the, the Disney homages across ASM. Why ASM only? But yeah, so 60 Years of X-Men, we're getting some of those covers, but on Spider-Man books. Okay. Why they didn't put those on the X-Men books? Is you explain that to me. This could have been on Uncanny X-Men 700, but they decided to keep it here on Spider-Man because they've been doing it on Spider-Man, I guess, every other month for the last 2 years with the Disney 100 and now the other anniversaries. But I don't know, it still seems kind of stupid. And then we got another open order cover there too, which is kind of cool. We got Spidey and all these, like, they're not quite Zodiac symbols. I think they're all the symbols of his villains. I see, like a black cat, there's a rhino, octopus, etc. Kind of fun. And as you might expect, there is a 1 in 100 black and white of that Disney cover. These, I remember they were hot to start, but nobody cares anymore. These are like half ratio, if not less. The 1 in 100s I see listed are like 30 and 40 bucks even. So if you want them, you can have them. I don't really see much of a draw in having a black and white version of this cover personally, but hey, if you like it, buy what you like. Just because it's not for me doesn't mean it can't be for you. And with that said, there are a couple other covers, but again, another segment. We'll get to it. Don't worry. I won't forget. I am looking forward to issue 2 of Get Fury. Garth Ennis, War Story, Punisher, Fury. I'm in. Yeah, the first one was kind of cliched, standard Ennis. So we'll see if he goes anywhere new with our issue 2. But I'm still going to read it. So we got to cover A and we got to cover B. No incentive here to worry about. So get the one that you like. I'm fine with either, but I might actually like the B cover a little bit better. I don't know. Just first looks, kind of like the Fury in the Jungle is apart from the Fury in the Parachute. That said, still interested in this Ghost Rider Final Vengeance, seeing, Parker Robbins hosting the Spirit of Vengeance here. It looks like we got Johnny Blaze showing up. I can't remember where we left off. Honestly, I've been reading them, but I honestly can't remember where we left off with this one. So I think this with Johnny Blaze is showing up, but I got to pick it up and read this again. But cover A, and there is a cover B that's not bad. And there is another cover again, our later segment. You'll see them. But that one's pretty cool. I like that. That B cover or whatever we want to call it. I don't know what number, if it's B, C, or D. You know what I mean? They kind of change them up depending where you're looking, whether you're looking at Penguin or at Diamond, or you're just looking at Midtown or some other site that just gives you pictures. I don't know which one to name them, but open order varied is the point. Also, on my reading list, I honestly am looking forward to the final part of Comic Tom's Crashdown. I am. Again, I've said it before. I'm impressed that he and Fire Guy Ryan got to do a comic together. And they wrote a story. Yes, I mean, it does touch on a lot of familiar tropes that we might, expect. But it's stuff that I like. So that's why I like it. With the kind of vibes of aliens and whatnot. But I'm in. I want to see how this finishes. So issue 4 of Crashdown is coming out. So again, I have it in my read pile because I want to read it and I want to see how this thing ends. Multiple covers, as you might have guessed, because it is tied to, Whatnot Publishing. And they make a lot of covers. They do. We'll admit that. They make a lot of covers. But again, if you use that link, you might be able to get some of this stuff and get it for free because free $15 on me. But here we go. Cover A, you got some B and C covers, including a David Mack. You see, you can spot the David Macks. They have a similar look. Then we got incentives that go as low as a 1 in 5. So we got 1 in 5s, we got 1 in 10s, we got a 1 in 25. Then if you want higher, we got higher. We got a 1 in 50 and a 1 in 100. That 1 in 50 being a black and white version of that 1 in 10, and that 1 in 100 being a black version of that David Mack open order cover. But that's it. It's actually a pretty light week as far as just reading pile goes for me. And it was only a few books, and then even you add in my picks books. Okay, I'm all right. My wallet is not strained yet. It may be if I start looking into some of these new number ones, though. So let's get into these two. On the fence about whether I'm going to dive back into this world, because while I liked it the first time, I don't know if I need more right now. I don't know. Maybe I'll get the number one and give it a try. The book I'm talking about is Kanto. So Kanto's coming back. Now they're at Dark Horse. I don't think they were at Dark Horse the last one they finished, but at Dark Horse, Kanto, A Place Like Home, starting a new storyline. Like I said, I don't know. I'll give it a read, but I don't know if I want this yet. But we'll see. I don't know what I'd be waiting for. It's just one of those things. It felt like a moment in time, and maybe the time passed. We'll see. Or see if it picks back up again. Multiple covers, though. There's a B cover as well as a David Mack. Just can't get enough work, and you see it, right? You see he's got this. He's doing the same kind of vibe on all of his covers these days. I mean, he's always kind of done it that way, but it's very distinctive. It's unique. Like you see it, you know who the artist is, which is both a good thing and I don't want to say a bad thing, but if you got all 3 of the David Mack covers that I've shown you so far, you'd probably be like, well, they all kind of feel the same. I don't even know what book's what. That would be my only criticism. But with that, there is another book that's got a new number one going over to DC, adapting, I guess, this Adult Swim series. I've not been watching this show. I don't know if it's for me. I don't know who it's for. But apparently there's a My Adventures with Superman story and this is a comic book that's going to tell you what happens between seasons 1 and 2. but I'm not watching this show. If I should be watching this show, if it's fun, if it's a good time, please let me know in the comments and I'll give it a try. I'll give it a shot. But otherwise, I know nothing about this, admittedly, but it's a new #1. So I figured I'd tell all of you about it. Couple covers on this one as well. That's the A. There's a design cover. There's a pretty cool, looks like Clark and Lois cover in the middle, and then a blank sketch if you want that. And if you want an incentive, there is a 1 in 25 for you there. Nothing doing as far as aftermarket or pre-sales go, so ratio or less, mostly less. So get it if you want it. We're getting more Godzilla one-shots. So Godzilla Rivals, here's another one-shot. I mean, man, IDW just pumps these out. It seems like every month or week, it seems I'm getting it different. This time it's Mothra versus Hedorah. Okay. So another one-shot. Cover A, there's a B cover, and there is a 1 in 10 incentive variant if you want that as well. I don't know. I'm a big Godzilla fan. I did make a big purchase for myself related to Godzilla, which I will share with you once it comes in. But I don't know about this one. This one shot. I've never been the hugest Mothra fan. Just wasn't my favorite of the Rogues Gallery of Kaiju, I guess, and Hedorah either. They just weren't my favorites. So I might set this one out. But if you're interested, there you go. I'm curious about this one. I probably will pick up this #1 if I didn't pre-order already. I got to check my pre-order because I order some things way in advance, like through DCBS. So I'm like a couple months ahead on a lot of things. And a lot of these image titles I will give a shot through there because you get them at a deep discount, not having to pick them up on Wednesday. We can get into that at some other time. If you guys want to know more about that, we can talk about that because there are options for you if you want to order it early outside of just through your LCS. Like there are other options for you. But point being, curious about this one, Precious Metal #1, because this is from the world of Little Bird. So this is a prequel story of a sort from Little Bird. I don't know if you remember Little Bird, but I kind of liked it. I liked it. The first run had like a futuristic society, big brother evil, whatever, that kind of thing. I liked it though, so I'm kind of curious. And we got this 35 before the years of Little Bird Volume 1. We get this story here, so I'm going to give this a shot. Plus, creative team coming back, pretty cool. There is an incentive on this book, so there's one cover, and then there is a 1 in 25, which I think is a wraparound, but I did not get the wraparound image for you. I'm sorry. I found out about it later that it was a wraparound, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to go digging for it. But here you go. It's a 1 in 25. I didn't see anything listed. This is the type of oddball book that could be pricey come Wednesday because there may not be a lot of them. So just one to watch. I'd say one to watch. If you're into it and ratio or less, I'd say get it for yourself because I don't know how many there will be. But I know Tradmore also could be divisive as far as an artist goes on covers, but this is a Tradmore cover. And like I said, if you like it, get it. But I'll be curious to see what happens with this one. Now, this next book, I'm only giving you the A cover because there are so many store exclusives. I don't know what was what from what you could get off the shelf and what you couldn't, apart from I knew this was the cover A. So I'm only giving you cover A to Archie and Friends, Blockbuster Movies. I mean, it's another Archie book. It's another excuse for them to make very, very many variants because from everywhere, like multiple stores. There's a lot of fun homages, too. There's like Purple Rain ones. There's apparently some Fun Noodle character that's like a Deadpool knockoff. So this might gain some interest with some collectors because it's the first appearance of it was a Death Noodle. I don't remember what his name is, but he's like blue and yellow, but it looks kind of like Deadpool, and he has like a super soaker and a Fun Noodle sword, like the pool stuff. I don't know. It's silly. It's Archie. But there are some cool. There's a Pulp Fiction one I saw from some store or another. There's cool variants out there. So if you're into them, I mean, feel free. But just be careful because they can get out of hand quickly when you buy exclusives. That's all. They make you buy a trade dress and a virgin, and then there's foil ones, there's wood ones, metal ones, and then you go down rabbit holes of exclusivity, and you're like, well, there's only 15 of them, and I've got one, and it's a whole thing. So tread carefully, but there's your cover A for you. Now, this next title, I had no idea what this was. I saw the title and I was like, that's weird. And it's Cult of the Lamb. And sorry, I didn't mean to cover up the whole cover with it. I wanted to show you the cover first and then do the whole full-on description. But here we go. We got the full description up anyway. Apparently, this is based off a game, and it's Eisner-nominated artist from Rick and Morty. You got a lot of good things coming here. You got BAFTA-nominated video game phenomenon about it's Cult of the Lamb. It looks like a cutesy, weird game that they're adapting into a comic. And based off of the number of variants they have for this thing, I assume this is pretty popular. Probably, I guess, with the youngins, because again, I didn't know much about it. So we'll see what happens with this. This could be something. I don't know. But cover price covers or variants right here. So you got A, B's, and C's. Then you've also got a couple of more. These are still cover price variants. You got a sketch cover, and you got this other bright pink one, because now we get into the variants where we've got a 1 in 10, a 1 in 20 version, a 1 in 30 version of the other. So there's all those, as well as a 1 in 50, which is a Stan Sakai, which is kind of cool. And this is the color version, as well as a 1 in 100 sketch version, but it's a red sketch version, so it's different. And it is Stan Sakai, so that's also kind of cool. And there's been some movement on this already. So a couple of pre-sales, 150 a piece, and then there's one listed looking for $241.90 for this 1 in 100 variant. So again, just because I don't know a lot about the Cult of the Lamb doesn't mean that it's not a property that a lot of you might know about and or have been looking forward to. So this is just new to me. It's news to me, and it's now something I got to keep my eye on, because this 1 in 100, it's got a little bit of early traction. We'll see if it holds. I don't know if we'll see many more come up though, but we'll see. Something to keep an eye on. What do we got next? What do I got next? Okay, so Mad Cave is coming out with this mammoth story. This cover kind of caught me. It's kind of cool. I don't know what's going on there with this creature in the background, but when I read up the synopsis of the mammoth, it's something went wrong in where this town is, and it's a giant monster. The people come together. It kind of hooked me a little bit. I know I'm not doing the best reading of the synopsis. I don't want to read this to you. If you want to read it, you can go and read it. I'm just kind of going off the cuff here, and I don't know. It seemed mildly interesting. I'll take a look, flip through it when Wednesday hits, and see if this catches my attention more than it has. But here's an A cover. Then there is also a B cover and a C cover, which also seems to be a Pride cover, which is kind of cool. I mean, you can see it with the little rainbow at the top. Don't worry. Well, I got a whole Pride section for you all later, as we did last week, too. But I think I got one more number one for you. Granted, these aren't all of the number ones. These are just the ones that I found interesting, because I think I did cut one that was out of a Dark Horse that I was just like, I'm not really into this. It was something about the war and a war photographer, and I'm like, I'm not into this, so I'm not even going to bother going through it. So there is something. It's like body bags or something. Anyway, Profane. So Boom is giving us this title, Profane. All right. I'm like, cover, kind of curious. It's giving me a kind of a noir vibe. And then when I read the synopsis, it's giving me a noir detective vibe. We've got solving murders in LA. Is the daily bread of Detective Will Profane, but something is strange about this latest case. So yeah, detective story. LA detective novelist at the heart of it. Peter Milligan. I'm in. So I'll probably give this one a shot. There's an A cover. There's a B cover by Mike Diodato. It's pretty cool. Kind of like that one. There is a 1 in 10 incentive. That's a virgin version of the cover A, as well as a 1 in 25. Also, not a bad. Again, gives you that pulpy throwback kind of vibe. Your Maltese Falcon, Raymond Chandler type stuff. I'm a big fan of old detective novels, so I'm kind of into this. L.A. Noire. Remember that game? I like it. And then there's an unlockable cover here, which is a black and white version of that Diodato cover. So the unlockables, as I understand it, it's kind of a one per store. If they order enough, they qualify to get it. But I think it's one per store. But they still, not every store gets it. You still got to order enough to get it. So it's a little bit even more limited than just a one per store. I don't know. Again, I'm trying to understand the unlockables, but I'm not a retailer. I'm just going off of what I've heard and people have told me. But I looked, and there's actually some, $20 kind of sales for this one already. I didn't make a slide showing you some of the early pre-sales, but it's one to watch. We'll see if we get multiple sales or if it's just a couple. If it's just a couple, then it is what it is. We've seen this week after week, different publishers doing these one per things, and some of them hit, some of them don't. So we'll see. But another title that I thought about putting in one of the other sections or segments, because I'm going to give it a try, but I feel like the entire Ultimate Universe I've kind of just placed into kind of the read pile mostly. But I didn't want to put this one in my reading pile yet because it's a new #1, so I left it here. And that is The Ultimates #1. So redoing their Avengers, the Ultimate Universe Avengers as The Ultimates. All right, I'll give it a try. I'm not super stoked for it, but I'll give it a read. Hopefully it catches me. Cover A. Multiple covers here. Multiple covers, by the way. B cover, harkening back to the original Ultimates. It looks like Hitch. And you got an Ant-Man and Wasp there on another cover. Then we've got a John Tyler Christopher Negative Space. That's kind of cool. And then we got a foil cover as well, if you want to get a foil cover. And then we got Trade Dress there in the middle, because that one in the middle is also the Virgin 1/100 cover. And there is also a 1/25, which... and I didn't even realize Doom was on the team, but it looks like Doom's on the squad. But I don't like that 1/25 all that much. Cap's face looks kind of smushed. But the rest of them are all right. I don't know. I don't know which cover I'd grab. I'm probably just going to get the John Tyler Christopher. Actually, I think I did order that one because I like those Negative Space covers. So with that, Ultimates. We'll see if it's any good. I'll give it a try. But like I said, I'm not expecting a lot. Been kind of with a hot start to the Ultimate Universe. I've been kind of just treading water the rest of the way because while I like Spidey, Black Panther's been so-so. X-Men hasn't hooked me. So now we'll see where Ultimates falls in on that range, because I feel like I got a thumbs up, middle, and a kind of a thumbs down. So this could be the teeter point of where we go with the Ultimate Universe for me going forward, unless some of these titles turn it around and get me interested. But with that, I am still interested in the event. And people make jokes, but there aren't a lot of Blood Hunt titles. There's not a ton. We're not getting inundated with 100 different crossover events. Granted, there are at least 2 every week, but that's 2 books. And if you want to keep up, it's 2 comics. It's not too much yet. But as we start to get multiple into the number 2s of some of these series, then it could get a little bit more out of hand, I guess, to try to keep up with this Blood Hunt storyline. But this week, if you want to keep up with Blood Hunt, all you got to do is get your Blood Hunters #2, which I think is the final issue of this little anthology series. And we've got Elsa Bloodstone, you got a Hulk and a Hawkeye in there. Only a B cover here if you want a variant for you. It's kind of cool. Looks a little bit like I don't want to say art book. Almost like the old hand-drawn books from way back in the day. Like it has that kind of vibe. Parchment, you know what I'm saying? Like the monks would be drawing this. That's what that kind of reminds me of. But Blood Hunters, and then we have Wolverine starting his Blood Hunt crossover. So it's Blood Hunt Wolverine #1, cover A. There is a cover B, as well as a Blood Red sketch cover, as all the #1s have gotten for Blood Hunt tie-ins. And no incentives. No incentives. But there are other covers that I will show you in other segments. Starting off with this first one, because while there is another cool cover, there is this one we got to get to. And it's probably my only book in this section, but we'll do it.
WTF, Gary? WTF. What the fuck does WTF mean? What the fuck? Oh.
WTF. That's right. Because, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I know I've given Liefeld a lot of heat, given Frank Miller a lot of heat lately on just, so work. But, man, I am just not a fan of this layered. It's just, I don't know. I get it. It's a style. But it seems a little off. Some of the proportions are off. Like, these aren't turtles. These are people. They're not turtles. So let's kind of not make it look like, Gimli's fighting goblins, because that's what I'm seeing. But it is what it is. If you like it, go ahead and get it. It's just, this one's just not for me. So I'm going to leave this one behind. But we can still stick with this Wolverine title because we're going to jump off of this book into another segment that I've been talking about and leaning towards, because a lot of the other titles we already covered have covers that fall into this section, and that is Skottie Young's Big Marvels. Don't know what to think about this. Yes, these are kind of cool. I'm already started doing shorts on them to show you all the different covers, because I do like Skottie Young art and I do like these characters, but I like when there's a little bit more than it's just you'll see. Here, we'll get right into it. Starting off with Wolverine. I like it. It's, it's a silly kitty style Wolverine. I just wish there was like a background. Like, this just looks like it could be a pin, because they do sell pins of these, and yeah, it looks like a pin design. That's what I see. It just looks like a design, which is cool, but I would like it fleshed out. Give me more. Give me a scene. Like, my favorite ones of these that he does is when there's talk bubbles, and there's characters interacting, and it's like a whole scene or something like that. Those are the ones I enjoy the most. But it's all right. I mean, it's not bad, right? But Wolverine, and then there is a 1 in 50 version for all of these. So all of these will also have black and white 1 in 50 versions of these and virgin covers. So it straight up looks like a sketch. Right? It's kind of cool, I guess, but I don't know. I can't be shelling out the money that, a 1 in 50 incentive would go for, even pre-order or cheap at the start. It just would get too costly, because we got, I think, half a dozen books to go through here. Because our next one, Spider-Man. I told you, Spider-Man had one as well. So Amazing Spider-Man 51. We got a cool little Spidey here, and a 1 in 50 that I mentioned. There was another incentive in that group. It's the Skottie Young. Carnage is coming out this week. There's Carnage 8, and we have a Carnage Skottie Young cover. Also, I like these. This one fills out the cover a little bit more because of all the tendrils of Carnage, but still, when you take that away and we give you the sketch cover, now this really just looks like a doodle. Ghost Rider's got one too. So you notice that Ghost Rider book number 4, there was nothing but an A and a B cover. Well, that's because here's basically the C cover, which is the Skottie Young, and the only incentive is a 1 in 50, which is the sketch cover. Venom also has a title coming out. I'm not a huge fan of Skottie Young's Venom, because he just looks like a big oaf. But all right, I get it. Cartoony wise, it works. It's just not my favorite. But you got this one and a sketch version of it for the 1 in 50. And then probably my favorite of the bunch, and Marco will laugh, but I like the Cyclops. Cyclops is probably my favorite of this group. And on X-Men number 35 or Legacy number 700, we have this cover as well as the 1 in 50, which again sneaks into all those other ratios that we went through before. So there is a 1 in 50 for this one as well. Now, more of these to come throughout the month of June, and more of these to come throughout the month of June, as we are now into Pride Month. So there are going to be more and more covers and variants from different publishers and titles celebrating that fact. Starting off with DC. DC always does their own little subsection for Pride Month. And right now, this week, we've got Batman 148, another Batman cover, mixing in with the other covers I already showed you. As well, and as we got Batwoman up front, for Pride Month. We also have this special, this one shot, a celebration of Rachel Pollack, worked on Doom Patrol before, also very innovative and introduced a lot of characters that were outside of the norm for most. So we're getting those stories reprinted here in this special one shot for the month. We're also getting a Poison Ivy cover that goes through with the branding. And then, as I mentioned, other publishers beyond just DC are getting in on this too, as IDW has a Monster High Pride cover here with this as the A cover on this one shot, as well as there is a B cover, I believe, as well. So, yeah, so even IDW's got something for you. And Marvel usually does as well, and they also have, more specifically, Star Wars, and we do have our first Star Wars Pride cover month down here. So once these are all done, I'll probably do a whole short on all of these as well. And well, we'll see. I don't know. You guys tell me what shorts you want to see, because I like putting these variant cover runs like together and setting them some music, because it's just kind of fun seeing them, all together in one place. But those are this week's Pride Month books. And now we will move on over to the later prints because we do have, unlike last week where it was a very small pile, we got a few. We got a few this week. So let's not dilly-dally because we're already up to about 45 minutes. And I want to wrap this up because my voice is starting to go on me. Mad. So Mad number 1. Reprint facsimile of the cover, the regular cover, the only cover, and then you got a sketch cover option. So boom. Thankfully, they didn't try to put foil on this. Thank God for small miracles. But Marvel did. Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars number 6. You guys know by now. Every month we're getting this throughout the year. Like this 6th month, June. Here's the June issue, number 6. So Secret Wars number 6. You get the facsimile. You get the shiny foil version of the facsimile. And then we get a different cover. So it's no longer a facsimile, but we'll call it the facsimile 1 in 25. This with a very, I don't know, introspective Doom on this cover. Like he looks like a lady who's contemplating what to do with her life while standing on the beach. Here, I don't know. It's just, I'm just getting one of those vibes, like a House on the Lake kind of thing going. It's just like, what should I do? I don't know. But there's a 1 in 25, and it's doing a little bit. And we got to watch these. Some of these can get sneaky. And early sales, yeah, some 30 to 35, but then $11 too. So tread carefully. Don't expect all of these to be worth extra money right out of the gate. But some people bank on it and try to charge for it, as you can see here by listings looking for $70 to $80. I mean, it is what it is. You don't know where the market is until, people start buying it. And it's kind of tough, especially with the pre-sales, because those pre-sales I showed you are stretched over weeks. So that's like one copy in early May, one copy in mid-May, and then one copy just on June 1st for $11. So it is hard to gauge the actual interest in the marketplace for some of these. So don't get FOMO and don't get sucked in based off of prices you see with some of these pre-sales. They are indicators, but they are not the end-all be-all. So you just got to watch and see. And then you see how people start asking so much more. Doesn't mean they're going to get it, and then we'll see if those numbers come down. It's a weird little test. It's an interesting thing to kind of look at and track. It's it is what it is. I mean, I got to do it every week anyway to try to come up with hot 10 books, but do it too for this. But with that all said, those are our facsimiles for the week, and then we've got some other later prints. Starting off with Bear Pirate Viking Queen number 1, second print. Issue 2 is also out this week, so if you want to get these together, you can. I did not put issue 2 in my read pile because I will admit, I read issue 1. It gave me a headache. There was a lot going on. I just wasn't connecting with it. It just wasn't for me. I thought it was going to be something else. I thought I would be really into it, and I just, like I said, it just didn't connect with me, so I didn't put issue 2 into my read pile. But if you want to give them a shot, you can get the second print and number 2 together when you go to the shop. And as Marco explained on TAC, I think last week when he was talking to Tony Fleece, that's why we see a lot of these second prints, because publishers do this so they have those second prints on hand when the next issue comes out. So readers aren't they don't feel behind, they can catch up. So that's why we've been seeing a lot of these second prints. And it makes sense. It does make a lot of sense. But that is one of the rationales and reasons behind seeing so many of these second printings, especially with the Skybound stuff and stuff through Image in particular. Because again, it helps. It helps move the current issues when you have the prior issues available for new readers and later adopters. Like, people hear something's good, they want to get in, but they don't want to pay aftermarket prices. They want to have to track it down. It helps when it's like, well, I can just grab this fourth print copy of Transformers because, it's right here. Makes sense. I was surprised by this next one. There is a second print for The White Trees, a Black Sandtail. Because when this came out just a few weeks ago, that's a collected edition. So it was already kind of a reprint because it's collecting the 2-issue mini, or whatever we want to call it, series that came out a year or two, a couple years ago, 2 years ago, maybe. So it's like a reprint of a reprint. But yeah, it's a second print of a collected edition. Still pretty cool. So I'd recommend giving this a read. I gave it a reread recently once I got this because I couldn't remember White Trees, and I think we're getting some more coming through for this fantasy series. And it's again, get the old warrior out of retirement, trying to save his son, and I think his son's fiance, and there's going with old friends, but he doesn't want to go back to war. it's one of those kind of a cliche type stories, but you mix it in with some fantasy elements and it's done with some pretty good art. It's not bad. I was kind of into it. So looking forward to more. But here's the second print if you missed out. Crocodile Black, also with a second print. Philip Kennedy Johnson. All right. I mean, if you missed out, again, here's your chance to get issue number 1 again. If you somehow missed out on Ultimate Spider-Man number 2, or is this 3? This is the 4th printing. I can't even remember what issue this is, but it's 4th printing of it. And they give you a sketch cover too. Oh, it's issue 2. Because then if you want, for whatever reason, if you want a blank cover for issue 2, you can have it. I don't know why, but all right, whatever. They'll give it to you. There's an option. Second printing for Black Panther, Ultimate Black Panther number 3. This was the number 3. This is why I was getting confused. So this is issue 3, second print. That's the other thing. It's talking about third print of number 2 and second print of number 3. It just gets confusing, all these numbers on top of numbers. But Ultimate Black Panther number 3, the second printing, is available. Enter Storm and Killmonger. Even though they showed up at the end of the prior issue, they're more in this issue. You can get this if you're falling behind, or you can get the 1 in 25 incentive, which is kind of an awesome boss logic, though. I will admit. It is awesome cover, but 1 in 25 second print incentives, it's not for me. But there are buyers, and I found 3 pre-sales around 50 to 60 bucks, and I also found none listed right now. So we'll see where this one goes. See if any come to market to sell. I don't know. We'll see. But one to watch for this week. Again, I may not be a fan of them, but it's not all about me. Trust me. Knowing that and doing things like the Hot 10 list, it's not all about me. So I got to report what I see. And what I see is yet another second print with an incentive. And this is Darth Maul, Black, White, and Red, number 1, second print cover. Sure, nobody's going to care about this one because they're going to want the 1 in 25 incentive version of it. And yes, it is pretty cool. It does remind me of the Aja cover. I didn't get the Aja cover because I couldn't afford it, and I can't find a copy that is within my price range. I probably could have bought the 1 in 25 of this one the first time out, but I didn't because I'm holding out for the Aja. Now there's a second print virgin version of this one. Maybe I can get this one. I don't want it because it's a second print incentive. So it's even taking me away from even wanting the original 1 in 25 of this cover because they decided to do it again. I don't know. I'm weird that way, and I hold weird things against books and publishers. I don't know why, but I do. With that said, early pre-sales on this one sold for only $18 with the regular cover, and then another one sold for almost $80 on May 2nd, or May 1st and May 2nd. So a day or two apart. And then nothing since then. That's a month ago. And nothing listed. At least at the time of when I built the deck. Now that we're getting closer to the week, some copies might be popping up now. But when I built this deck yesterday, what day is it? I don't even know what day we're on. So I think it was Saturday. I think I made this thing Saturday. Yeah, finished this last night. That's right. Finished it last night while I made a cocktail. You guys saw it on IG. So that's when I saw there was nothing listed. Anyway, with that all said, let's wrap this up. We're getting deep into this, and I need to get some dinner. Covers. Here's some covers, random covers that I like. Not a lot here. Not a lot here. In fact, I've got a Carnage cover, which I think is kind of cool. It also goes with that Skottie Young one. I don't know. Carnage walking down the street. Tendrils and weapons. Kind of cool. I like it. And I got Space Ghost because I didn't know where to put this. I didn't actually read Space Ghost number 1 yet, so I meant to. I just never got around to it. So I didn't know where to put this. I didn't want to put this in the reading pile because I haven't read number 1 yet, and I kind of liked all these covers, so I just threw them in here. All these covers on number 2 are pretty sweet. Check this out. I mean, you got cover A. You've got Jay Lee doing a cover over here. You got Bjorn Barons doing one over there. Different flavors, different vibes. Then we got some classical looks here with a Quesada. And then we got like is that a Cho? Yeah, I think it's a Michael Cho. I like them all. They're all different tastes and different flavors of the same Space Ghost character. And I dig them. Just saying. So figured I'd show them all. With that, couple of random incentives. Nothing major here, but a couple of random incentives that kind of caught my eye because the covers were kind of cool. And we'll not that they're really doing much in the market. And then one of them being Venom. So this was Venom 34, I think. We had the Skottie Young cover in there. And then we got this 1 in 25, which, again, it's right around ratio. Maybe it ticks above $22 to $24. Asking prices, this is what I'm talking about. $15, $20, and $46. We'll see where it ends when these things start selling, but they're kind of all over the place. So I don't know right now. Just like I don't know what to do with this one. Star Wars High Republic number 8, 1 in 25. Because I only found 2 pre-sales and none listed. And those 2 pre-sales were only $22 to $24. But unlike the Venom, which has some wild pricing from $15 up to $45, there's none listed. So I don't know what to think about this one. And you got the Lorna D on the cover. Not the cookies, but, you know, the villainess character there. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens with this one. But to try to wrap us up, got a couple of Cheesecake covers. I know it's a favorite segment for a lot of you. It's one of my favorites too. I like a lot of these covers. But there's some cool stuff in here. And if you guys saw the short that I already put out, I already put my 5 favorite covers of the week in there. You saw a few of them. And I think the rest that you didn't see are right in here, including this little number by Jenny Frison. Yeah, Vampirella, Dark Reflections. I just like it. It's a gorgeous cover. Jenny Frison, I know you can complain that a lot of the art looks the same because the characters look familiar, the poses look familiar. That is true, but I like it. I like it. So I'm still going to keep getting them because I like it. Cover A. There's also a Perillo. There is also a Linzer. So you can get those. There's an Encelado. And there is, I haven't shown these before, but I'm going to probably start showing them. There is a cosplay cover. So, I mean, it fits the section. It's the segment. So, Cheesecake cosplay cover. If you're into it, boom, there you go. You got it. I mean, they do these basically for all these issues. I just don't show them for Red Sonias and Vampirillas. But yeah, there's always a cosplay cover. But I'm going to start throwing them in now while we're at it. Now we're going to hop on over to DC with Poison Ivy. You saw the Poison Ivy, the Pride Month cover. But here's just the regular cover A. Yeah, I mean, it's not that cheesecakey, but it's just the cover A. So I figured I'd show it to you. And then we got a little bit of a little bit more on the B cover, and the Cho obviously kind of fits with her coming right out of the flower. And then I really do dig this 1 in 25, though I don't think many do. This is, again, ratio or less. I'm surprised. I thought this might be a little bit more, but right now nobody's buying in. But I think it's kind of cool. I kind of like it. It's 1 in 25 for issue 23. And then there's a 1 in 50, which is a line drawing version of that Cho, which, again, also pretty awesome. I'm not a big fan of sketch covers, but there's certain artists, and Frank Cho being one of them, where I like seeing the fine detailed work that he does before the finished product. I think it's awesome. And with that, not selling for anything above ratio. So if you want it, you could obtain the 1 in 25 or the 1 in 50 for under ratio right now. Again, buy what you like. It's up to you. But with that all said, that's all I got for you this week. Trying to get this in under an hour. Yeah, so we did it. We did it just barely. But thank you for all the support. Thank you for checking this out, as well as all the other content here on the channel. Make sure you check out the links below. Again, think about signing up with our Discord memberships. We got the whatnot thing going. A lot of links down below. Give them a look-see. Give them a try if you're interested. And you help out the channel. And with that all said, I'll see you all later with some more content. All right? Oh, by the way, come back. I should have a Chasing Ghosts reading tomorrow, because I meant to do it last week, but I ran out of time. But I'm going to try to do it for this week. Got those Popeye books that I've been talking about, wanting to get back to. So tomorrow, some Popeye incentives for Chasing Ghosts is my plan. And then Tax Show on Wednesday, and Dollar Bin Digging Thursday, Hot 10 on Friday, along with the Qualified, SNS Saturday, Dark Side on Sunday, and then we'll start it back up a whole new week with another Wednesday watch list on Monday. Members, though, will get this as early as I get it done. So members might get this Sunday night, and that's the plan. And with that, see you all later. All right, bye.